You are now listening to Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now in Odyssey Station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
The only place you need to go for West Georgia sports.
Interviews with all your favorite UWG athletes and so much more.
Keeping you up to date with the NFL, NBA, MLB, and everything in between. If you want it, we got it.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
We're also giving you a platform to have your voice heard with our all-new live call-in segment.
So where else would you want to go? We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Monday edition of Sports Pack. I am Richard Reed, joined right now by Cadence Grieven to my right.
Hello, hello, hello.
Keyshawn Ward across from me.
Hello, I'm here.
And Ryan Kroger to my left.
Hello.
With my guy, Jackson Voles, running the camera system for us. Appreciate you, Jackson. We have a jam-packed show for you as always because the NFL free agency has exploded today. So much to talk about in the NFL. The World Baseball Classic is also in full swing. No pun intended.
Oh, yeah.
With the U.S. team going to be in action tonight going up against Mexico. We got a lot to talk about in the NBA. And you know, it's March 9th. So March Madness tournaments are getting closer and closer and closer as we move through conference tournament play. Before we get into that, you know we got to start off with West Georgia. But before we get into that, I must tell you that Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We're collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. That is thewolfuwg.com/book drive. In a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. That is why Dream City Brewing Company has joined forces with Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind you that there is no drinking under the age of 21, to never drink and drive, even if it's only one drink, and to add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex, which means know your limits.
As Widener rolls to the right, he's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it, and it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
As always, it was a very busy weekend in the world of UWG athletics, starting off with our basketball teams who were on the road down in Jacksonville, Florida, competing in the ASUN Conference Tournament Championship. Both teams advanced to the second round, where both teams also end up having their seasons ended in the second round. I want to start off with our men's team, who after beating the University of North Florida last Wednesday, took on the Queen's University of Charlotte Friday at 7:30 p.m., where they fell short 71-63. It was a very good defensive game. Wolves were outscored in the first half. Both teams put up 38 points in the second half, but it just wasn't enough. The Wolves' leading scorer was Josh Smith with 14 points off the bench. But Ryan, we just didn't have enough in the tank to take now Queens, who is now moving on to the ASUN Conference Championship game.
Yeah, that's right. And this is plain and simple what happened. You know, they shot a lot better than us, 429 from field goal range, 360 from three-point range. And I've said it all year, the turnovers. West Georgia had more turnovers than Queens. I get it was only 2, only 14, but we've had this problem in the past that if we have more turnovers than the other team, we most of the time have lost that game, if not all the time. So I think that's the main reason we got knocked out in round 2.
Yeah, I'm at the green, man. Shot selection was done poorly that game. They couldn't get a bucket to save their life. I mean, they got off to a slow start in the first half, kind of bounced back in the second half, but it just wasn't enough to kind of close that deficit. But, you know, that wraps up their season. So, I mean, going back, you just kind of, as a team, got to reflect on what happened this season as a coach, kind of, you know, learn from this. You know, they're still new to the D1 level. So, you know, just kind of got to take everything with a grain of salt and look forward to next season.
I feel like especially after last year, this year was like a good boost for us getting to the semifinals. And it just kind of sucks because, again, we feel like we can't succeed successfully defensively. And that's something we've always kind of struggled with. And even Coach Dave Moore agreed. And I just think it overall made it difficult for everybody to take shots. And I just found out, too, that Josh Smith, I think, is going to enter the transfer portal after this season. I just saw that.
Yeah, most likely. I'm not surprised by that one bit. I mean,
Yeah.
Josh Smith is coming off a very successful season where he was a dynamic scorer for us off the bench, ASUN Conference ASUN Conference Sixth Man of the Year. I'm not surprised by that at all. And honestly, if we're just speculating here, I wouldn't be surprised if Shelton Williams-Dryden, our leading scorer, who was first team all-conference, also entered the transfer portal. They're both coming off really good seasons, playing very high-level basketball, and I wouldn't be surprised by it at all. But when you look at this program as a whole, tough way to lose the season. Largest lead for Queens was 23 points. Wolves battled back, made it a respectable-looking loss. But it was a very successful season on paper. Because if we look at it last year, we only won 6 games. We more than doubled our win total for this year, going 15-17, which means we're slowly moving in the right direction on our journey of becoming a relevant Division I basketball program. When we left off in the Division II ranks, we're a team that went undefeated at home, one of the best teams in the country, made it to the round of 32 of the Division II NCAA tournament. This West Georgia Wolves basketball program was an outright bona fide contender on the D2 level. And now we're working our way back there. Yes, we went under 500, but when you look at it compared to last season, this season was an absolute success. And speaking of successful seasons, our women's team also had a great year as well. Ending out their season, I had it pulled up, but it refreshed. Ending out the season 18-13 overall, 10-8 in conference play. It was a little rough, but 12-3 at home overall. Our women's team was extremely successful this year, Keyshawn.
Absolutely. I mean, they had supporting cast all around me. You go Sydney Tober, Asia Donald, Jasmine Jones, who were their main girls on that team. So, I mean, it was all around just a great team, great season, honestly, when you take into account how long we've been at this D1 level opposed to, what our record was last year. So, I mean, it's definitely a step up. We made it in the second round of the conference play when we knew that's all we had to do. So, I mean, even though we lost, it's still a successful season, something you could look back on and learn from and gather for next season as well. And, try to reload, with a better roster, more talent, and, try to shoot for that championship as well as, even NCAA tournament play if we could get past this band as well.
Right, we're getting closer and closer. Our women's team has really been on an upward trajectory because even in the Division II days, our women's program is one that struggled. But this year, 18-13 overall, made it to the second round of the ASUN Conference tournament. Yes, the goal was to win it, but this was a very impressive season, and it was an extremely exciting game to end off on. Lost to Jacksonville, a team that went 22-8 overall. Very good program down there. Lost to them 86-77 after 15 points from Jasmine Jones, 20 from Sydney Tolbert, 18 from Asia Donald, and 11 from Destiny Jones off the bench. It was a very impressive performance. The girls battled, they rallied, and it really kind of embodied what this season was, Ryan. Just a hard-fought basketball game to end out and probably one of the more successful women's basketball seasons I've ever seen here at West Georgia.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A hard-fought game for sure. I mean, they dug themselves in a little bit of a hole in the first quarter, going down 25-13, but, they closed that gap throughout the game, and they were within 10 points, within like 8 points as the end of the game came. But, I feel like this loss isn't just from the day it happened. I think this kind of goes back towards the end of the season. They just started playing some sloppy basketball. They weren't taking the right shots that they were supposed to be taking. So I think that kind of led into what happened in that second round. Once again, you got Tolbert, who went off for 20 points. She's been amazing all season. Of course, Asia Donald and Jasmine Jones right behind her. So, they played a hard-fought season, so that's amazing and good for them, and I look forward to next year.
Yeah. And even if the ladies didn't succeed how they wanted to, this is the most wins we have had since the 2019-2020 season. And it's only our second year in D1. And so, I, again, feel like everybody's finally starting to get where we need to be, and if we can just get more girls on this roster that can just move quicker, move faster, and just really get going, then I feel like it'll be really, really successful on both sides. And especially, Sydney Tolbert has been humongous for
Huge,
first team all ASUN Conference.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially with her all ASUN and everything, she's just been a huge game changer.
Yeah, she's been a big time game changer for our program. She's been incredible. And to add on to what you were saying, we have a McDonald's All-American already signed, ready to play for our team next year. This is a program that is getting better and better and better and starting to attract better and better recruits as well. That's it. Recruiting is the name of the game. You get the good structure in, get the right coaching staff and everything in, the right culture built. You start bringing in better and better players to that program. The team is going to continue to grow and develop and get better and better. I feel like I said better 100 times right then, but I really had to nail that point home. Speaking of a team getting better, we got a lot of party hats around the radio station because our men's baseball team went out and won a couple games this past weekend. Going into it, a lot of people were kind of hanging their heads after starting off 1-11 and going on the road to Wichita, Kansas to take on the Wichita State University. Lost the first game 22-4. It was looking a little rough, but then our guys went out there and won the second game 5-4. Lost the third game 12-7, then went out and came right back out there Sunday afternoon, winning the fourth game of the 4-game series 13-11. Ryan, what went right for our guys this series?
We've been saying it all year, and every time on these shows when we talk about baseball, their pitching was, I wouldn't say phenomenal, but it was enough to get the job done. You know, they were up 13-5, eventually making it 13-11, but they put enough runs up to stun Wichita State, and then they beat them 5-4. You limit those runs, you pitch great, you get the bats going. That's exactly what happened, getting 2 wins in the four-game series.
Yeah, I mean, the offense showed life. It really gave me confidence and gave me hope. I mean, you scored 13 and 7 runs in two of those games that you won. So, I mean, you finally snapped that long losing streak that you had. So, I mean, you go in here, you leave with a 50% win rate in this series. Definitely gives you more of a confidence boost a little bit. You just, as long as we can score more points than the opponent can, I think we'll win. Pitching, that's been a broken record thing throughout the entire semester. So I mean, honestly, if we could just get our bats hot at the right moments and we could just survive and make it a close game as possible, I think we'll look very promising.
And I feel like winning these games against Wichita State is really what we needed, because I feel like we were contending well. It's just that we couldn't finish. It was always a sloppy mistake pitching or somebody getting out when they shouldn't have, and it's just been like careless mistakes. And I feel like as the season goes along, we're honing in more and more on things like that, and I think it just makes sense. And you can see, especially as this team gets more comfortable with one another, you can just tell that things are finally starting to snap in place.
And this wasn't a bad Wichita State team either. Wichita State is 11-5 overall, very talented team, and our Wolves walked in there and got it done. Very excited to watch this program moving forward. Hopefully we can build off of this. But it doesn't get much easier, because tomorrow night, our Wolves will be on the road in Atlanta, Georgia, taking on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, overlooking a series this weekend, a first ASUN Conference series against Jacksonville University right here in the City of Dreams, Carrollton, Georgia. Now, before we run out of time here, I want to talk about our softball team as well, who this past weekend had a nice home series against Gardner-Webb University, where we won 2 out of 3 games of the series, winning the first game 5-4, losing the second game 11-0, and then losing the third game of that 3-game series 8-2. Looking forward, our women's softball team will also be in action tomorrow evening in the Classic City, Athens, Georgia, taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, one of the top-ranked softball programs in the country. And then this weekend, they will also take on Jacksonville University in their first ASUN Conference series with a doubleheader on Saturday, first game being at 1 p.m., second game being at 3:30, and then closing out that 3-game series with a 12 p.m. showdown with Jacksonville University that Sunday, March 15th. If you're in the area, be sure to show up and show some love. But right now, Ryan, we got to pivot into the World Baseball Classic. The World Baseball Classic is underway. A lot of very exciting games being played with unique faces on the diamond. A lot of interesting pairings that a lot of people really aren't used to seeing, but are getting used to, because it's been a lot of fun watching these games, Cadence.
Yeah. So it was insane last night, because I was watching the Mexico-Brazil game, and Mexico mercy ruled Brazil in only 6 innings, 16-0.
Oh my gosh, in 6 innings?
Yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah, so Brazil just couldn't get off. They had a good 3 hits, but Mexico just killed them. Their pitching was phenomenal. Their hitting was phenomenal. But the real test is Team USA.
Absolutely.
Because, we have these big names all across the board, like Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, and especially our pitcher, Paul Skeens. Is that how you say his last name?
Paul Skeens. He'll be on the mound tonight against Mexico.
Yeah. And so the question isn't if Mexico can hit, it's whether they can hit off of Skeens.
Right. One of the best pitchers the MLB has to offer.
Exactly. And if Mexico can jump on him early, then we might have, honestly, one of the best games of the tournament. But if Team USA can settle in and play good and play well, then I definitely think that this will swing the USA's way.
So this Mexico versus USA game is tonight at 8 p.m. It's been played in Houston, Texas. The World Baseball Classic is really starting to heat up. Ryan, this is a big-time matchup because like Cadence just said, this is a Mexico team that's red hot. They mercy ruled Brazil 16-0 in 6 innings. This is a team where their bats get hot. They don't seem to cool off. So does this Team USA pitching staff have enough juice in those arms to hold this Mexico team down?
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, Paul Skeens coming off an amazing year, NL Cy Young winner. He throws very hard, up to 99, 100 miles an hour. He's got a great wicked off speed, almost like magic there on the mound. So every time he takes the mound, it almost feels like the pitcher as a batter is on top of you, because the mound to the batter, someone throwing that fast, I don't know the statistics behind it, but that ball's coming in real quick if it's at 100 miles an hour. So you really got to load early and you got to hit that ball. But, speaking of Mexico, they've hit 6 home runs in this tournament. They're third in as far as bats go. I mean, United States only 5th. So I think if Paul Skeens can go out there and dominate on the mound like he did all of last year with the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think it's no matchup for the United States. But if Mexico can get over Paul Skeens and get deep into that bullpen, it might be a problem for the United States.
It's going to be hard for them to try to get on base because, I mean, in the USA versus Great Britain game, USA had 17 strikeouts. That's a WBC record.
Good.
Wow.
They set
17
right
strikeouts. 17 strikeouts, only 3 hits allowed all throughout 9 innings and 1 run. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for them to get on base. For USA, I mean, they kind of struggled the first half of that game versus Great Britain, and they kind of just, once that 5th inning came, something just clicked, and they took over from there. So if they can start like that against Mexico, but start from inning 1 instead of inning 5, I think they definitely could blow Mexico out the water.
Yeah, and that's definitely what the United States has been doing all tournament. I mean, the last couple games they started off super hot, but especially in that Great Britain game, this United States team is so stacked and so powerful that even a couple bad innings is not going to show who they are. And you said it, just by one click, they just become this very dangerous team. And that's what the United States team, because they're so stacked, that's what they can do.
And that's what we need against Mexico, because I know watching the game yesterday, you could really tell that they were just coming off hot and fast and early. And it really was just like, we've just got to make sure we stay consistent and don't settle in those first 2 or 3 innings, and we just come off just as hot as they do, because especially with pitching, because Paul Skeens is not to be messed with. So it's just something we just got to see tonight.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because we're looking at it here. Like you said, Team Mexico is one that's really burst onto the scene, especially after that big win against Brazil. Brazil is currently losing to Great Britain 8-1 right now. So Brazil just might be that team people kind of boost their confidence against. But this could be a good test for Team USA, a team that is coming off a big-time win. Obviously, they have a lot of confidence right here, both in North America. Big-time rivalry, obviously. This could be a great game. But looking forward, let's say Team USA plays a good game tonight, gets past Team Mexico. Then you have teams like Japan, like Dominican Republic. Those are the 2 teams that people look at and say, these are the kind of guys that can come in there and knock Team USA off their podium. How do you feel about that, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, Dominican Republic has been absolutely outstanding. I mean, not just in the hitting department, in the pitching department, the fielding department. The energy that they bring to the stadium after every home run, they charge the home plate like it's like a walk-off home run. I mean, the energy they bring, everything is clicking for Team Dominican Republic. They've hit 9 home runs, 1 triple, 5 doubles, and they've hit 29 hits with 34 runs in the whole tournament. That leads the whole tournament. This is in only 2 games. This is insane for Team Dominican Republic. So I went into this thinking, United States is the best team out there, but Dominican Republic has shown out and shown that they are a tough team to beat in this World Baseball Classic, and definitely a tough matchup if the United States has to play them later in this season.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis has been playing out of his mind for Team Dominican Republic. I mean, they're good. They just played the 3rd game today against Israel. They won 10 runs to 1. I did not know Israel had a baseball team. It's pretty freaking hilarious. But they won that game 10 runs to 1. I mean, this is a dangerous team, Keyshawn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got all these guys from the MLB. I mean, they're loaded, right? They're maybe not as loaded as USA, but they definitely have some hidden talent over there, and it's the reason why they're 3-0, number 1 in their standings. But I mean, Japan also is 3-1 and first in their division. I mean, they have the best player in the league, Shohei Ohtani. So I mean, that's really, if you're facing Japan, if you could get past them, you kind of got a chance there. But I mean, Dominican Republic, I think this is for the US. I think that's their toughest opponent.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, didn't we beat Japan like the last World Baseball
So
Classic? Or maybe not?
Japan beat us in the championship. It was Shohei Ohtani who struck out Mike Trout to end it.
Okay, that's what I thought. And especially like you were saying with the Dominican Republic and Japan, these are good teams and it'll give us contention. But we're just hoping that Skeens can stay strong with this, especially because, I mean, we're in 5th right now, but it's just kind of like, I hope that the USA can pull through. And against Japan, especially with, like you said, Keyshawn, I think it's just going to be a really good matchup. And if these guys don't start early and finish fast, then I think you're going to be able to tell, and these other teams are going to settle in and get the win from it.
Yeah, well, another thing is, especially going with Team USA, Tarek Skubal, the AL Cy Young winner, who NL Cy Young winner and AL Cy Young winner on the same team is lethal. But he said at the beginning of the WBC that he was only going to start one game. Now, after his start earlier in the second game and gave up that leadoff home run and just didn't pitch as well as he should have, he's now thinking about coming back for a second game to pitch for the Team United States to redeem himself, because when you're pitching for your national team, you want to do what you did last year, but if you didn't look like that, you might want to come back and play.
Right, exactly. It's going to kind of light a fire under him, and hopefully he can perform better moving forward. As you can all tell, a lot of great storylines in the WBC right now, starting with tonight's game at 8 p.m., Team USA versus Team Mexico, two of the hottest teams in the tournament right now, looking to make a statement. Be sure to tune in and support Team USA. Now, before we move away from this segment here, I do want to remind you all, the Atlanta Braves are still playing some spring training baseball. Had a game earlier today against the Minnesota Twins, won that game 9-8. The Braves were up 8-0 at one point, but they were up. Wait a minute. This box score is wrong. Excuse me. I was looking at the box score to make sure I had all the stats right, but the box score is wrong, so I'm just going to go off the dome here. Yeah, the Braves were up 8-0 in the first inning, actually. They went up 9-0 in the fifth inning, and then the Twins kind of battled back, but the Braves held strong. The Braves are currently 11-3 overall in spring training and looking pretty good, getting tuned up for this season, a season that can be a big one for the Atlanta Braves. A lot of people think that Ronald Acuna could be gone after this year, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. But here's the thing with the Atlanta Braves. They have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Especially in spring training, keep your guys healthy, get them the playing time that they need to get better and be ready for the MLB season, but don't work them too hard. And then once you get into the MLB season, please keep the pitching staff there. Keep all the guys in the field. Ron Acuna has to stay healthy. Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson. I mean, Jurickson Profar is gone. He's suspended the whole season after performance enhancement drugs have been seen in the system for the second time. So this Braves team has to stay healthy. And I say this every time, especially in spring training. Spring training doesn't really define what the season's going to look like. Someone can go like 0-30 in spring training and then have a winning season and win the World Series. But, these Braves, they have to stay healthy. Their star players have to play every single day. And I think they can be a really dangerous team going into the MLB season.
A lot of great baseball being played all around the world. I was going to say the country, but World Baseball Classic is going on. A lot of great ball being played on the diamond. A lot to watch. Never enough time to do it. Now, when we get back, we're gonna dive into the NFL free agency frenzy and talk about a little bit of NBA as well. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from Inside the Coliseum.
Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Wii Sports? Let's try something. Let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all of college football, basketball, and baseball. Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
When you think about college sports, what do you think of?
Campus legends like Haynes King and Diego Pavia.
What if I told you there was a show for that and more?
More?
Playbook is your one-stop listen for college football, basketball, baseball, and UWG sports.
The Bulldogs have Ryan Nemhard, a great point guard, and they are going yard. Gonzaga in 5.
Tune into The Playbook Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. only on Wolf Sports Network.
The Playbook is your home for West Georgia sports this spring. From University Stadium,
And we saw a very well put together offense that was trailing and going into the half, and then comes out in the third quarter and puts themselves up.
to the Coliseum,
We're finishing well at the rim, being aggressive, being physical. A lot of guys are touching the rock. It's been a great start for the Wolves.
and Cole Field.
I hope West Georgia wins. I'm going to be rooting for West Georgia tomorrow.
The Playbook, live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m.
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty. Man, and a lot of teams are building forward, trying to make that dynasty their reality. Orlando Odom, welcome on to the show. Glad to have you.
Yo, what
we
is
got a
up?
whole lot to talk about, so we're just going to jump straight into it. We're going to start off with a few rapid reactions here. Starting off with one of the bigger moves of the day, Malik Willis, former Tennessee Titans quarterback, played really good over the past few years as Jordan Love's backup with the Green Bay Packers. Just signed a 3-year, $67 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. Orlando, how do you feel about this?
This is a great move for the Dolphins. I mean, they needed a quarterback. They got rid of Tua. Thank God.
We'll talk more about Tua in a little while.
Yeah, they did the right move getting rid of Tua. Getting Malik Willis is huge. I mean, you have a Waddle, as your number one. You have A-Chain, your running back. So this is a very good move for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm at the agree. I mean, he was honestly the best available quarterback out there. And, you went out there, you picked him up free agent, you signed him into a 3-year deal. So you have him locked up for the next 3 years. You have, like you said, you have pieces in place for him to work with. So, I mean, it's all about developing him, coaching him well, keeping him on track. And if he could prove he's worth this $67.5 million deal, I mean, it's all going to work in favor for Miami. So as long as things pan out well, it's all looking good.
Right, the Dolphins are hoping to have their quarterback of the future in Malik Willis. We'll definitely talk more about him as we move on. But Keyshawn, I want to stick with you here. One of the bigger moves of the weekend happened pretty much right after we got off air on Thursday. The Baltimore Ravens went out and traded 2 first-round picks for edge rusher Max Crosby to try to strengthen that defense. How do you feel about that?
I love the pickup for the Ravens because based on what we've seen last year, defense was a non-factor for them. It was non-existent. They needed help on all 3 levels of that defense. So, I mean, bringing in Max Crosby, yes, you gave up 2 first-round picks, but, this was something that they needed. It was a massive pickup. I like the move for both the Raiders and the Ravens. Ravens get a position they need, and Raiders, they kind of move on from that package of him, and you get some great draft picks from it as well. So you got a first-round pick this year, first-round pick next year. If you could capitalize on both of those picks, this trade for both teams look amazing. So I love it for both. We got to see if Max Crosby will be a part of the Ravens' long-term situation. But, as of right now and going forward, in the next couple of years, it's a great pickup. So if they could continue to, merge everything together on that defense, pick up a couple of linebackers or defensive back to strengthen that secondary, things are looking great. The offense is playing well, clicking. They got rid of Isaiah Likely, but they still have Mark Andrews in there, still have Zay Flowers. So, I mean, if they could go out and sign a receiver too as well, that Baltimore Ravens team will start looking like a contender again.
Yeah, I agree. If I had to put a trade grade on both of these, I'd give the Ravens definitely an A, but I'd give probably, the Raiders around a B plus. They lost Max Crosby. That's a big blow to their defense. But I know I was talking to you early, Richard, and I kind of had some mixed feelings on this, but then you said something that's like they need to get rid of him if they want to rebuild their team, and I completely agree with that. They're paying him a lot of money, and if they got 2 first-round draft picks out of it so they can get a defensive guy to replace Max Crosby. So I think it's a good trade all around. I mean, Ravens just got Max Crosby, one of the best defensive guys in the league, so I think it's a great trade for both teams.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it works out for both teams as well. The Ravens get their guy, try to take some pressure off that secondary, get after the passer in what is a very quarterback-heavy division and really just conference as a whole when getting out of the AFC. They needed that extra help, get Max Crosby in a place where he can go out, rush the passer, and compete for championships. And then when you look at the Raiders, this is perfect for them. Perfect for their rebuild. Everybody expects them to get Fernando Mendoza this year, first overall with their quarterback. Went out and signed a center earlier today. Make sure I'm getting it right. Yeah, Tyler Lindenbaum from the Ravens gave him a 3-year, $81 million deal with $60 million guaranteed. And you also have a bunch of first-round picks on top of that. Big-time moves for the Raiders, moving in the right direction. Now, Ryan, I want to stick with you here because Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker just signed a 3-year, $45 million deal with $28 million guaranteed to move over to Kansas City, Missouri, and play for Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. How do you feel about this?
I think it's an okay trade. I think it's okay.
No, it wasn't a trade. It was just a sign.
Oh, a sign. Excuse me, just a sign. I think it's okay. You know, it sucks for the Seahawks. I mean, him going to free agency and stuff like that. But going to the Chiefs, they didn't play well last year at all by any means. Definitely didn't lead to expectations. So I think him being in there and being a big asset in Kansas City is going to be huge to them. Of course, they got Patrick Mahomes. They got Travis Kelce went into free agency.
No, Travis Kelce was re-signed.
Okay,
Came back for
re-signed.
1
Okay,
year.
so they got Travis Kelce back. They got Patrick Mahomes. They've got their running back now in Kenneth Walker, and of course Super Bowl MVP. He showed out in that game. So I think it's okay. You know, I feel like he could have maybe gone somewhere better, but I mean he's got some star talent on that Kansas City team, so it's solid.
Yeah, I mean, with this pickup, we know that they're not picking Jeremiah Love now. So, I mean, this pickup for Kenneth Walker, it fixes that gap. You know, like you said, you have everything coming back. It just sucks for Seahawks that you couldn't retain him because now that's a hole in your offense that you're going to have to fill. And you're picking in the back end of the draft, but you can still find RB1 talent in the back end. So, I mean, although it's a loss, it's not as big as it may seem because – I mean, you could find a 4th-round pick and replace Kenneth Walker, and he could have better stats, if not be a better player overall. So, I mean, you know, losing him, you would like to keep him, but it's not really nothing that you're missing out on. You know, all it is you just reload now. Just reload.
Yeah, I mean,
bring in some new players, and you're good.
Seattle still has Charbonnet. I mean, he tore his ACL, but they still got him.
He's
so
decent, too.
if he can come back, he's solid. He was sharing reps with Kenneth Walker, but then we saw when Charbonnet went out, Kenneth Walker exploded up. So
I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's interesting how each team values the running back position differently.
Yeah.
Because this is a draft that has big time top end talent at the running back position with Jeremiah Love, but it's also very deep at the running back position as well. Yes, they have Charbonnet. This shows that even despite his injury, they're still high on him. But it also shows that they're willing to go out into the draft and take a chance on another guy that isn't proven in the NFL, but they're confident that the right guy can come in and kind of fill the void that has been left by Kenneth Walker, who, yes, was great in the postseason, but in the regular season in Seattle was a little on and
shaky,
off as they were trying to figure out what they wanted their offense to look like. So I can understand both sides of it, people that wanted to keep him and people that wanted to move off of him. Now, Orlando, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, so we got to move off that topic quickly. But I want to throw something else at you here. Pivoting over to the NFC South, where we're going to stay for the rest of this conversation. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers decided not to re-sign Mike Evans, and he has made his move all the way over to the other side of the country and signed a 3-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. What is the addition? Well, I guess we're not moving to the South. We're just going to move to the NFC as in general. But what does the addition of Mike Evans do for that 49ers team that was already coming off an 11-win season?
I'm not going to lie, Richard. It doesn't really do much for me. I mean, like, Mike Evans is getting older in age. I mean, yeah, he might give you that 1,000-yard season, but I mean, just the 49ers need to worry about just staying healthy in general. I mean, it seems like year after year, they're high, you know, they're really expected to be going to Super Bowl, NFC Championship, but then they get hurt, they lose some big guys throughout the year, and just, they're back to 11-5 and, you know, get to the divisional round and end up losing. So, I mean, Mike Evans, it doesn't really take him to that next jump, if you really ask me, to be honest.
It doesn't, but it gives them a decent complimentary piece. Like, we know he's a reliable target. You know, he was a consistent target, probably one of the most consistent receivers we've seen all time. So, I mean, yeah, he's hit that age wall. He's 32. They signed him to a 3-year deal. So, if he plays out, he's going to be 35. So, I mean, I'm guessing they hoping that he, you know, could continue to be that Mike Evans that we saw back in Tampa Bay. But, I mean, he's coming off an injury season, so we don't really know what we're seeing with him. With injury plus age, that can definitely play a factor. But, I mean, off rip, as of right now, besides Kittle, he's their receiver 1. You still have Ricky Pearsall, who's shown flashes, but he's not really their main guy yet. So
if you're stay healthy this past season too.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, if you're feeling confident, Mike Evans, go for it. But I don't think that this kind of solidifies their receiver room yet. I still think they need that one young guy. They kind of pull it all to piece. And like you said, if they can stay healthy, I mean, this is a contender all over again.
Here, this is the thing. I think this is a huge pickup for the 49ers, saying that Christian McCaffrey, their running back, led the whole team in receiving yards last year.
Yep. That's crazy.
So they need a receiver. And Mike Evans, if it wasn't for him getting hurt and missing a bunch of games last year, he would have had a lot more yards than he actually showed. He's a solid player, deep threat in as far. They got Brock Purdy. He's solid. He can throw deep. He's accurate. So I think if Mike Evans can stay healthy and they needed this wide receiver, he's a solid pickup for the 49ers.
Yeah, this is a really good move for San Francisco, mainly because what they need is consistency. Yes, Mike Evans battled a lot of injuries last year. Let's see if that carries over. Hopefully for the 49ers' sake, it does not. But they need consistency at the wide receiver position. A lot of injuries last season. Ricky Pearsall was in and out. Juwan Jennings was in and out. Brandon Ayuk is pretty much a non-factor. He really isn't even a part of that organization anymore. Christian McCaffrey is the only constant. He had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage last season. And like you said, Ryan, he was their leading receiver with over 900 receiving yards. They need a guy that is going to be consistent, a guy that Brock Purdy can look to at any point, and a healthy Mike Evans very well may be that guy. Now, pivoting back to the NFC South, got to talk about our hometown team here, the Atlanta Falcons, because they've been making moves as well. Went out and got wide receiver Jahan Dotson from the Philadelphia Eagles, where he wasn't very productive with the Eagles, but they're looking to see him go back to the form he was in when he started off his career in Washington. Had 2 500-yard seasons, 1 season with 7 touchdowns. Pretty productive, looking to use him to fill that Darnell Mooney role, route-running, speedy wide receiver out of the slot. Brought Austin Hooper back in, signed kicker Nick Folk. Familiar face Olamide Zaccheaus re-signed with the Falcons. Edge rusher Cameron Thomas on a 1-year, $3 million deal. But the big move here is the Atlanta Falcons going out and signing a quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa from the Miami Dolphins, made famous from his time at the University of Alabama, where he broke the hearts of many Georgia Bulldog fans in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in one of its inaugural years. Signed him to a 1-year, $1.3 million prove-it deal to come in and put a little pressure on quarterback Michael Penix, and also bring in a quarterback that can kind of fill in for Michael Penix if he's not ready to go week 1, Ryan.
Yeah, this trade's interesting to me, but I think giving Tua another chance, especially in Atlanta with new head coach Kevin Stefanski. He's got Kyle Pitts, he's got Drake London, he's got Bijan. That's what I was looking for. Bijan Robinson in the backfield. So he has overall a 68% completion rate in his career. So it's okay, it's solid. If he can stay healthy and stop getting these concussions that he keeps getting, I think he's going to be a solid asset for. It's a prove-it deal. He says exactly what it is.
Tua actually this past season did not go down with any concussions. He's been learning how to fall better, but he threw 15 interceptions overall and had a QBR of 37.5. Keyshawn, he was terrible last year to say the least.
Yeah, there's a reason he got benched before the season even ended. Things just kind of. That turmoil just looked bad in Miami for him. I think it was best for him and Miami as well to just kind of go separate ways and kind of revive his career in Atlanta on a 1-year prove-it deal. And I like that they gave him a 1 year, because that to me shows that they haven't yet given up on Michael Penix yet. They just kind of want Tua to kind of go in there and kind of push him a little bit.
Compete a little bit.
Exactly. That's all they're looking for. So, honestly, it's a great move. Tua got more than enough pieces for him to work with on offense, as well as Michael Penix does as well. So if both guys can stay healthy, if Tua, avoid falling on his head, and Michael Penix avoid blowing out his knees, this is a good offense to work with. So, things is holding up. New GM, new head coach, everything's got to fall in place for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm tired of the Falcons falconing every year. It happens regardless.
The one thing about my team is they're always going to find a way to falcon something up.
Exactly.
It never fails.
I feel like they always find new ways to lose.
Yep.
And it seems like it's on purpose, too, the way it happens. It's like, bro, how? And it's always, they manage to blow a lead, no matter if it's 14.
Okay.
Hey, I went to the point.
I was going to say that.
We get the point.
Hey, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I went to the Rams game last year when they played the Rams.
I did too.
That was a solid game. The Falcons looked.
It was a great game. They won that game.
They won that game against the Rams. So I like it. I like it.
You got something? You were sitting there making faces. I thought you had something to say.
Tua, just a 1-year prove-it deal is fine. I still think the Falcons need another receiver, though, 100%.
Most definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Drake London, he's good, but he's going to need some help. Darnell Mooney's not it. Jahan Dotson, we can see what he can do. I feel like, he was kind of overshadowed by A.J. Brown's drama and Devontae Smith just being Devontae Smith. So I feel like give him a chance. Maybe he could do something, but I still think the Falcons would need to go after and get a true wide receiver, too.
I agree, and I think that'll be addressed in the draft. Like I said, we've talked about getting a guy like Jeremy Bernard, bona fide route runner. He's like my dream pick for the Falcons with that first pick of the second round. When we look at the Tua pickup, I'm not opposed. I understand the rationale behind it for multiple reasons. One, the most obvious one being Michael Penix says that he'll be ready week 1, but you really just never know. Got to gauge it, got to let him get his feet wet, start going at it in training camp and all that, really see if he'll be available. He'll be back early in the season, probably by week 3, week 4 at worst. But bringing a guy that can start for you day 1, a guy that has started in the NFL and play some very high-level football. Then you're dropping Tua into a roster that is built to win now. Solid offensive line, Receiver room is decent, like you said. Need a few more pieces to really make it a strong
That's what the
receiver
draft
room.
is for.
But you have Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts, and you have a nice second-round draft pick in a very deep wide receiver draft. Have Bijan Robinson in the backfield. A solid defense. Still got to find a way to fill the gap that was left by James Pierce with his legal issues, but that'll come with time. Brand new coaching staff, so this is the perfect time to bring in a guy like Tua. Penix is hurt, yes, but it's also put some pressure on Penix because he has a guy to come in and compete with. A guy into a Tagovailoa that is not looking to just be a backup for the rest of his career. He still wants to start in the NFL, and he thinks he can be another Daniel Jones story. A guy that was bad with his first team, had high highs and low lows, and come in and reinvent his career. That is what Tua is looking to do in Atlanta. So Tua's going to come in here motivated, ready to make a difference and change the trajectory of his career. So if Penix steps up to the plate and beats out this version of Tua Tagovailoa, that really shows that we're going to have high-level quarterback play. This could be the kind of competition that brings out the best in both guys, and whoever ends up winning that job could lead this Atlanta Falcons team to an NFC South title.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
Said it perfectly.
I thought somebody's got something
Said
to
it
say.
perfectly.
Well, if that's the case, let's pivot to the association. A lot of craziness going on in the NBA right now. Well, I shouldn't say craziness, but a lot of things are happening as we get closer and closer to the summer, meaning that we are getting closer and closer to the playoffs. One of the biggest things that got my attention last night was Victor Wembanyama. He has been playing out of his mind. The Spurs last night improved to 47-17 overall after a 145-120 win versus the Houston Rockets, where Wemby did Wemby thing, scoring 29 points, made 9 free throws, had 8 rebounds go along with it, and 4, count them, 4 blocks. Now, Orlando, despite your name being Orlando, you're not a Magic fan. You're a San Antonio Spurs fan. Do you think Wemby deserves to be in the MVP conversation?
100%. I mean, it's Wembanyama. I mean, look what he's doing. But I also want to say the Spurs as a whole, they're just playing amazing basketball, and it's very unselfish basketball. I mean, look at the game last night against the Rockets. 4 guys had 20-plus points. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. Like, this is an unselfish team, and Wemby, he's going to give the credit to all his guys, but I think he has been, like, kind of the sole force. He's bringing that aggression. He's bringing that energy back into the game, back to this team. He's reviving them. I mean, just the other night, after that 25-point comeback, he got emotional. Like, just to see that, he's definitely changing the game and for the Spurs in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm at the agree. I mean, with the 65-game rule that's going on and a lot of these players being ineligible, it's definitely not hard to throw Wemby in the MVP conversation at all. I mean, he's definitely going to be a candidate the way he's been playing. The Spurs team has been looking great. This is, the best I've seen him play since the Tim Duncan days, in my opinion. I mean, you have De'Aaron Fox, who, he's been putting up numbers. You have young Steven Castle, a young supporting cast in that backcourt. And then, of course, we have the alien himself, Wembanyama, leading the team. So, this team honestly has just been developing very well. You have the right veterans and the right young stars in place. They just got to, finish strong in their conference. They'll definitely be, title contenders. I don't know if I want to make that take right now. Is a little bit early, but I mean, it's definitely
they're definitely title contenders.
It's leading that way. This team has been playing very great. If they can finish season out strong, I mean, why not throw him in there?
And Wemby's already leading the Defensive Player of the Year conversation anyway. He's pretty much a shoo-in. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Might as well put him in the overall MVP conversation as well because he's been playing out of his mind. He has 147 blocks this season. He's ridiculous and added on 4 more last night. Ryan, Wemby's unreal.
Yeah, Wemby is unreal, averaging 23.9 points a game, 11.1 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 50% from field goal percentage. But of course, it's that defense that blocks. I mean, at 7'4", I mean, he gets up there and he blocks almost about everything. It's impossible to get everything past him. So with that defensive game and then with him scoring around 24 points in his only second season in the NBA, I think he's definitely up there with the MVP candidates.
Most definitely. The Spurs are for sure a team to watch for when looking at the Western Conference. They are definitely a contender. They are looking to make their first NBA Finals in some years. They are looking to make the Spurs back relevant again. But when you're looking at the East, there's another contender out there as well. We talked about them last week, but the Boston Celtics coming off a big-time Eastern Conference win, 109-98 on the road in Cleveland against the Cavs. That saw Jason Tatum dropping 20 points along with Jaylen Brown's 23. leading them to victory. Jason Tatum has hit the ground running since coming back from his injury, Orlando, and it's looking like you might be right. He is one of the better players in the NBA.
It's the anomaly. I tried to tell you guys this last week. Y'all doubted me. But look, he's proving y'all wrong. I always believed in Jason Tatum, the anomaly. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He said he wasn't going to come back as no role player, and he's showing it here. I mean, he's having ridiculous numbers on very low minutes, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's back. Simple as that.
Yeah, he came back strong. So I didn't expect him to come back this strong.
No.
Last show I said that maybe he'll come back. They'd bring him back on a bench, give him minute restriction. Then I get a notification saying that he won't be on minute restriction. So, at first I thought he kind of rushed the ACL comeback because it's only been 10 months. So, I mean, you come back 10 months off an ACL tear and you're playing like this, putting up these numbers. I mean, he's been balling, right? It's Jason Tatum that we know, that we've seen, we love. Him and Jaylen Brown, that duo has been going crazy. Right now it's Jaylen Brown's team, but if Jason Tatum keeps playing like he is and getting better and better gradually throughout the rest of the season, I mean, he could very sure take that crown back again.
Orlando, I see the face you're making. But let's be real here. Jason Tatum has been gone majority of this season, and they have been very successful. Jaylen Brown has been great. A lot of people have been throwing his name in the MVP conversation as well. As of right now, it is still his team, but Jason Tatum is a dominant force on that team.
Jaylen Brown is just holding down the fort. You know how you have a captain and a vice captain? That's what the vice captain does. The vice captain holds down the fort until the captain is ready to come back, and that's what Jaylen Brown has done. Look, give him big credit. He's definitely in the MVP race for sure. The way it's looking, I would give him MVP if, of course, the rule game requirements and all that stuff plays out. But, you know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, that's why they gave him that bag, to do stuff like this. But this is the Anomalies team. Guys, come on. Okay. Like, what are we doing? This is the Anomalies team, and he's back here to take back that crown.
Ryan, before we run out of time here, because we only have a few more minutes left in this segment, I want to pivot over to the West Coast and talk about the L.A. Lakers. They're coming off a 110-97 win against the New York Knicks, where Luka Doncic did Luka Doncic things, scoring 38 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and Austin Reeves dropped 25 points as well in their big-time win against the Knicks. So looking at this, I have a question. This is the Lakers team that's been a little up and down all year. They have a pretty good record. They're 39-25 overall. But it's clear that this team plays a little bit different when it's just Luka and Austin Reeves leading the charge. So I have to ask, is this Lakers team better without LeBron?
I hate to say it, but I think so. LeBron, he's an amazing player. He's played amazing his whole career, one of the best of all time. He's up there, especially when he played for Cleveland. Had to put that in there. But he's gotten older. He's gotten slower. He's not as fast. He's not as agile. I feel like it's almost like a downtime for the LA Lakers when he's on that court because he's got the assist game in him, but he's just not putting up as many points as he should be if he's playing for as much money as is in LA. Now, I would love to see him in Cleveland next year,
right?
But I think as far as it goes, I think, yes, they are better without LeBron James.
They are, but we cannot act like LeBron James doesn't. Like he doesn't add a piece that they don't have without.
He's still playing
LeBron.
at a high level.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's still playing at a high level.
He's 41. He's still averaging over 20 points per game. He's averaging 50% from the field. So we're not going to act like LeBron doesn't add anything to that Lakers team. But, I think that they definitely can still be a dominant team without LeBron there. So I will say that.
Yeah, I think Bron is definitely, he's still Bron at the end of the day. But I think the Lakers are definitely better without him. I also think once Bron leaves, the Lakers will get even better because his contract is a big part of why the Lakers really haven't had a good bench because LeBron takes up so much of that contract. So when he leaves, Lakers can actually go out and get some true bench pieces and they could be conference finals here in the next few years.
I think you're right because them being better without LeBron isn't really a slight on his performance because LeBron is still playing the game at a very high level. It's just more so that it may be time for a change. Luka is the future of this franchise. So is Austin Reeves. It's time to start building around those two guys, and the first step in doing that is moving away from LeBron James. Like you said, Ryan, a lot of people are saying retirement tour in Cleveland is only right. It's going to be great to watch. But for the Lakers, like Orlando just said, it's going to open up a lot of opportunity, free up a lot of cap space, bring in a lot of new, young talent to fill out this roster and build the supporting cast necessary for them to make a NBA Finals run similar to like the Dallas Mavericks did a couple years ago with Luka Doncic. In a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the last month. However, some college – wait a minute, I messed up. That is why Dream City Brewing Company has joined Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind all our Wolves to stay safe when drinking, to never drink under the age of 21, and to have a designated driver. And you know what? Throw in some good food while you're at it. Now, we're going to go for a second, but when we come back, we're going to dive into a little bit of March Madness basketball and talk about some of these conference tournaments that are ongoing. This is Sports Back on Wolf Sports Network.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
What's up, this is Parker Andell, and I'm the newest voice of Sports Out of Pocket. Step into Lucky Season 7 where the odds are in our favor. Crazy insights, hidden stories, and conversations that will pay off every single time. With a fresh season and a fresh voice, Lucky Sevens is here. Tune into Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's a new semester here at West Georgia, and that means a brand new season of Sports Out of Pocket.
I love Jameis Winston to death, but look at the guy. Like, come on, that's not the veteran quarterback that I want to be. He's a locker room guy.
They got Jonathan Taylor back there. It's like having Saquon, just a little bit worse, but it's like having Saquon.
Tune in to Season 7 of Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network. Get ready to hit the jackpot. Sports Out of Pocket is back for Season 7. The Lucky Seven's final season with me, Jackson Voles. From wild debates to the boldest takes in the game, Jackson is going all in for his final run. 7 seasons, 1 final spin. Don't miss it. Catch Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's one of the most exciting times of the year right now because teams are gearing up for their conference tournaments, which, if you didn't know, if a team wins the championship game of their conference tournament, they get an automatic bid to the 64-team NCAA tournament, no matter their record. Even if they only won 5 games, they get hot at the right time, win that tournament, they're in. Like how we saw with NC State a few years ago, which led to their big-time Final Four run. We see it year in and year out, and teams are already starting to punch their ticket. This past Saturday, Tennessee State University won the Ohio Valley Conference championship game 93-67 over more. How many times have we said 6-7 today?
About 6-7.
All right. But they beat Morehead State 93 to an unmentionable number to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament, and we have a few teams in action tonight that are going to have a chance to do the same thing. The Furman Paladins are taking on Eastern Tennessee State in the SoCon championship for a potential bid at the into the NCAA tournament. And then you also have some action in the Sun Belt as well, as the Georgia Southern Eagles from right down there in Statesboro are taking on the Troy Trojans. 2 teams in this region looking to win the Sun Belt championship and punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. So, guys, to zoom out a little bit tournaments are really starting to kick off. Got the WCC, the West Coast Conference going on. Gonzaga's in action tonight going up against Oregon State, a team they should take care of. Gonzaga's a good team, 28-3 overall. But as we look at the bigger picture here and look at every single conference around, is there a team in a certain conference that you think could really make a big difference in the conference tournament championships this week and either win the entire thing or do just enough to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament? Don't all jump out of that one.
You know, BYU, I'm going to say BYU out of Big 12. You know, they coming off a big win over Texas Tech. They're playing Kansas State in their championship game. They're 21-10 right now, but they're unranked. So I think a big win here, you complement that with, you beating a ranked Texas Tech team last week. I think, a good win this week could definitely, I can see themselves punching their way into the NCAA March Madness tournament. But, they're going to have a big spark from, their guys like AJ DeBanster, Robert White, even their center. So, I mean, BYU, they've been kind of up and down. They've been slow in these big ranked games. But if they could have a strong ending, find something within themselves to kind of get back in the groove like they had earlier into the season, I think that they very well can punch their ticket into the March Madness tournament with a win versus Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm going to say one team, and they are currently ranked 20, but it's the Miami of Ohio. Okay. But the only reason I say this is because of the percentage that they're given to even make the tournament. They say they're going to lose in the MAC tournament and not even get that automatic bid after the 32-0 season that they just put 31-0 season that they just put up. So the reason I'm saying them is because I think it's not right for them to not make that tournament, and I think they're playing on all cylinders, even though they haven't played a ranked team yet.
Yeah.
I think that's the team I'm going to go with.
I feel like they could gain gain a few more people's respect in this tournament.
For sure.
But they're really just going up against the same competition that they've been playing against. In my opinion, this is a team that should be in regardless if they lose of the first round of their tournament because they went 31-0. So when it comes to making a statement, I'm not sure when the tournament is going to make that much of a statement for them. It may because it's going to give them an automatic bid, but I feel like the real message for this Miami, Ohio team would come in the overall NCAA tournament, going out and being super competitive or just winning the first round game.
100%. I mean, Miami, Ohio, the fact that it's even a debate right now is kind of crazy to me. I mean, they're 31-0. A lot of people want to talk about their strength of schedule and how they really haven't played anybody, but it's like, hey, you get the schedule you get. You know what I'm saying? You got to play the competition in front of you. That's what they've been doing. They've had some close games, and they're winning all these close games. So the fact they're not even it's like a low percentage, right? Maybe like a 30,
it's like
40,
30, yeah,
40% chance. Like, that's ridiculous to me. So
yeah, I mean, it is, but also a loss versus UMass doesn't help their case at all. They definitely need to win that game because I think if they win a game, 100% they're in. You can't discredit that, but I mean, a loss there with what they're already up against with the percentages and stuff, it doesn't help their case at all. So I mean,
can't get knocked out that early.
Exactly,
they
definitely going to need a win versus UMass.
Well, they want to win it. I mean, they really want to.
They want to win the whole thing.
I mean, just make a statement, like just go ahead, just go. Let me go.
Do your thing.
I'm just gonna win the championship, so y'all have no choice but to just put me in. You know what I'm saying?
Now, to round out this conversation, I want to go to a team in the ACC, the Louisville Cardinals. They're currently sitting as the 6th ranked team in the ACC, but that doesn't really do them justice. They're the number 24 team in the country, sitting at 22-9 overall, and they're a team that has had massive offensive explosions sporadically throughout the season, led by their 2 leading scorers, Ryan Conwell, who's averaging over 18 points a game, and Michael Brown Jr., who is also doing the same, averaging over 18 a game. This is a team where if they get hot at the right time, I really feel like they could knock off a lot of the big dogs in this tournament. Starting off in the ACC tournament, but also carrying over to the NCAA tournament as well. Right now, they're slotted to be around a 7-8 seed in the tournament, maybe 9 if things don't go good for them in the ACC tournament. But this is a team that can be a sleeper in both brackets because if they get hot at the right time, they have enough top-end scorers that can get hot and kind of carry them forward to a potential Sweet 16 run. This kind of team is dangerous. Elite offense and good enough defense that can help carry them through the tournament.
I agree, yeah. Averaging 85.9 points a game, that's solid. That's a respectable number. They can be dangerous in this tournament. I mean, Ryan Conwell, field goal percentage, only about 40.8, but he's averaging 18 a game. That's solid for the college level. So this is a team that you look at when going into March Madness. Anything can happen. This is a team that can get hot. You said Sweet 16, definitely makes Sweet 16, but even the Elite 8, I mean, they haven't had much success this year against the ranked opponents, but I mean, they beat Miami here at the finish out their season, so they're definitely riding the hot hand, and they're doing what they need to do.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this season shakes out because 9 out of 10, we're all going to be wrong. The sleeper team is never who you expect.
True.
Every now and again, a team like Louisville will prove somebody like me right and make some moves, but you really never know. This tournament is unpredictable. A lot of people think that Cinderella is dead. I think that is foolish. Cinderella is alive and well. People just say it's dead because they don't know who it is. We never know who it's going to be. And that's what makes March Madness so beautiful. And I cannot wait for it all to get started. Continuing on tonight with a few conference tournament championship games. But that's all the time we got for Sports Pack tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to catch us right back here this upcoming Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network. Have a blessed night.